with my IT tech who's going to join later, and also my VP Business Development who will join shortly because they're busy with another call. So Rebecca, you
Okay.
can go ahead.
Okay, sure.
Thanks, Nick. Lee, before we actually get into the PowerPoint and into the actual application, I was hoping to find out if you have a hard stop time for us today.
Yeah.
So can we go for 30 minutes, 45 minutes?
It's all, it's all up to you. I'm okay for that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So to start off, this PowerPoint is just some basic information about cloud benefits. Many of these benefits include that there's no license fee. You're not going to have your servers on site, so you're not going to pay for their upkeep or managing them. And it's going to have a really low learning curve because it's a cloud-based application and it is on a website, and everybody uses a website. And you also get your upgrades for free. The next couple slides are just some research done by the Aberdeen Group. This one's saying that when looking into moving over to the cloud, in these select areas, people found, for example, that on cloud they would get 67% more benefits in areas such as logistics and planning. And this is just some of the reasons people told as why they were switching over to the cloud. The number one reason was they got a lower cost of ownership, followed up by the reduced cost and efforts of upgrades. And this one's just saying everything was faster and more accurate. So these are our actual applications. We do sell this on an a la carte basis, so if there's something on here that isn't relevant to your company or you're not looking for at this moment, you do not have to buy it. You don't have to pay for it. We won't even put it on your part of the application. That way you don't even have to see it. It'll make it much easier for you to work with. So from here, I'm actually going to go into the application and do some basic architecture and the navigation from there. But if you have any questions along the way, feel free to interrupt me because we're here to answer all your questions.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so there are three basic ways to navigate through our system. The first way are these really big icons, which is great if you're using an iPhone, iPad, a tablet, anything that's touchscreen. Second way are these bars at the top, and when you're actually in the section, you're going to see them replicate on the side over here. And the third way is search-based. So if you're new to the system, this is going to be the way you're probably going to use the most often. So for example, my employees want to know their past paycheck history. So I start typing, and it will filter by what I type. So if I continue typing history, it will filter down even further. And then all I have to do is click on the page here, and it will take me directly to that page. Now there are four key parts to our architecture. The first part is our workbench. And the workbench is going to pull all your alerts from the system. It's going to integrate with your Outlook and other email providers. And it's also going to show your calendar information. So what it's going to look like when it's in your Outlook is it's going to give you this bar here. And it's going to allow you to send your contacts back and forth through the system. You'll also be able to directly allocate your emails and your attachments from your emails directly into the system. So for example here, I go ahead, I want to attach an attachment that I received from one of my clients. So I go ahead and log in, and then I'm going to allocate that attachment. I want to attach that attachment to my sales order, and then it'll give me a list of my sales orders, and I can choose which one I want to attach it to, and it'll directly attach it into the system for you. Now the second part of our architecture is our admin section. This is going to be for your super users only, so not everybody's going to have access to it. And it's going to be where we do our basic setup, but if you want to come back and make any changes later, your super users will have access and training on this section. The third part of our architecture is our reports section, and that's going to give you access to a set of generic reports. There will be a set for every single module, and then you also have access to our query designer, which is going to be our built-in BI tool, and that's going to give you the ability to make any custom reports you have, because every company has one or two reports that's specific to just them. And it will also give you the ability to make dashboards. And this is an example of what our dashboards look like. They are fully configurable. You can drag them, you can drop them, you can compare this year's information to last year's, last quarter's. You can change what format they're in, you can add them. currently have them broken up by tab here, but you can combine that all into one view. You can make views for yourselves. You can make views for groups. Like you can have one for your whole department. If you have a sales team, they all need to see what sales orders or what inventory is available. And you can pull them between different modules too. So that's a real quick overview of our architecture and navigation. Any questions there?
No, right now, not yet.
Okay, I was told you were mainly interested in our inventory and production, so I'm going to go ahead and start at inventory. But if there's any other sections you want me to cover, just let me know, and I'll definitely cover them too.
Okay, sure. No.
Now, according to the information I received from Nick, you make everything to order, or do you make it sometimes a few things to stock too?
Mostly made by order, yes.
Okay. So I'm going to start off with our item master, and this is going to be the heart and the soul of the purchasing, production, procurement, warehousing. So this is where we're storing all of our information. Now, I was told that you are interested in combining yours with the REM, which is the Restaurant Equipment Market one. And there are two ways we can do that. We can either have them set up here as the two different companies, and then then we map that company code to that item, and then we do an intercompany transfer. Or we can just go ahead and list them here and divide them up by item group like I have them shown here. So that will really depend on your preferences for that.
Okay.
So the item master is going to pull a little information from a lot of the other modules. So it's going to tell you information like, is this a finished product? Is this a raw material? Is this consumable? How are you managing it? Is it by serial? Is it by batch number? Is it by both? Are you getting it from a manufacturer? What is your preferred vendor for if it's something you're building? So where are you getting these parts from? What quantities they're coming from? The volume sizes. That way you'll have appropriate room in your warehouses for storing those. If you need to store them, what units you're selling them in. Maybe you sell something in just a set of like 6 glasses instead of just 1 glass at a time. It'll keep track of your minimum, maximum inventories, what GL codes are associated with this item. It'll allow you to do your planning, so you'll set up what type of planning method you're using. Is this a make or buy item, or is this just one or the other? What are your order multiples, minimum order quantities, what your lead time, tolerance time, lot sizes. Do you do any global trade?
Not really, yeah.
Okay. If you ever do expand into global trade, this will keep track of your export groups, certificates, and that sort of information.
Okay.
We have full integration for our shipping with UPS, FedEx, and UPS, and we've got APIs with those. But we also have a transportation module, so if you have your own vehicles that you use for shipping it out, you can keep track of their availability, tracking their locations, which shipments are where, what routes they're going on. And the same thing if you use third-party vendors for that. Now the warehouse section is going to show you what warehouses you have the item in, the total stock you have there, any committed, any that's already on order to bring in, what your current availability for that is, and the item cost. Now we do have another page where you can see this all for more than just one item, but I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
So this is if you just want to see for that one item. And if you ever have any variants, like, I don't know, you sell this in reds and blacks and blues, you can just use your permitted values here, and then whenever they're doing the sales orders or the purchase orders, they're able to directly say, okay, I'm pulling, I want this item, and then I want this color. So they'll have a little drop-down to choose from for that. And it's really easy to add a new one for that. It'll also integrate with your finance, so it'll keep track of what your income accounts and expense accounts is for this. Do you have any purchase or sales tax with this? And then the attachment section is going to allow you to, attach photos like I have here, but it's also going to, if you've got any documentation on it, So maybe it's something that has, maybe it comes with assembly required. You can put your assembly instructions there for the client, or any other documentation, whether it be what components it's made out of or anything like that. Okay, so that's just a quick overview of the item master. And you also have the ability to checkmark this, and that will show it on the customer portal, which will be linked to your website if you're interested in that. That's through our e-commerce portal. And it'll actually show the information from here. So you'll get your photos from here, you'll get your pricing information from here, you'll get your availability from here. Now that page that I mentioned earlier is our check availability page, and what it does, it lets you see your availability on all your items. And you can filter it by either the warehouse location it's in, the item group, or the item name. And let's say you have an order coming in, and there's this same page in your sales module too. So your sales team are able to see this exact same information without having to go into inventory. Let's say you have an order for 400 items, but you only have 300 in stock. You can directly click on the item that you want, and you can make your purchase orders directly through here. You can also do your sales orders and your item transfer between locations.
Okay.
Now, you do under item movement can do that on your own, but if you can do it from the page and do multiple at a time, why not? You also have the ability to set up pricing lists for this. You may have some customers who have special discounts. You may have bulk discounts. You can set those up and directly map those to your items. And then you can do your picking and packing and directly send these over to delivery and shipment. You'll also keep track of all your vendor and customer information, what your vendor calls the items, what the vendor pricing is, if you've got a commitment level with that vendor, what that is. So it'll keep track of all that information for you too. Now, over on the production side, we're going to have your bill of materials, we're going to have your routing, we'll have your production methods set up for that too. And that's going to let you see all of that information. So let's just dig into the bill of material real quick so you can see what that looks like. So for your red booth that I was showing you earlier, we're saying that it's made out of, for this order, since I'm making 156 of them, for this order, I need 324 of the foam pads, I need 156 of the bases, and then I need 542 of the upholstery fabric, so I can actually go through the processes and make this. Then the actual routing is going to tell us what processes we have for it and how much time those processes are going to take, and also what those processes are going to cost us. So for example, I'm just joining these all together. So they're actually just going through one machine, one step at a time, and then I'm receiving my booth. And I'm getting about a 10% scrap there. And then your production method is going to be a combination of both your BOM and your actual routing. So it'll give you full overview of the times, what routings, and what BOMs you currently have. And then once your sales orders came in, you can directly do your interactive planning, and this will let you choose what items you're going to make, and it will also give you a recommendation based on how many items you currently have in stock. So for example, let me find a sales order here. So on this sales order, I currently don't have any in stock, so it's going to give me a recommendation of how many I want to. And then it'll pull your production time, tolerance time, and from there give you a due date. And you'll also have the ability to directly choose what warehouse you want it to go into. And that's going to directly make your planned orders. And on that, if you have any items that you need, so for example, let me go into our MRP planning here. And let's just do a quick setup here. This is a make to stock, so I have the items that are being pulled to make this item. And because I don't actually have these in, it's going to actually directly make my purchase orders for these products. So I need my handles and my press box. And I don't actually make those, I just assemble those. So once those have been in, it'll go over here on my planned order section, what purchase orders are related to each of these. So for example, I've made this one, but I haven't actually made my MRP for it yet. So let's go in here and make one from scratch. So my production plan code, P03, going to basis on sorry about that. You know how it goes. So go ahead, put in your sales information, what item we're looking for. So I am looking for my boots, which I am misspelling. Let's see here, P-O. Apparently I forgot my item code number. I apologize. But what it does is it pulls the information based on the item code, and then you'll be able to directly make your planned information from there. And then you'll be able to directly convert that into your production orders. And your production order will give you your information of what routing and what VOMs you're using. So let's see if I can get my boots up this time. Okay. So I'm making 8 of these. My production method is here, my bill of materials. So by pulling my production method, it's going to automatically pull my bill of materials information. And since you're converting, it would already have pulled your delivery date and your start date and your finish date from your machine section, along with your production times and setup times. They'll also be pulling which SO, so your sales order information from there, and then your cost information from it too. And then once you have that ready, you can directly convert that to process execution, and that will actually execute the processes, and you'll be able to do all of your scheduling for it. So for example, I'm having this one start on the 31st, and I want it done by the 7th. And it will pull all the information of what work centers I'm using, what machines I'm using, what start times and end times, and I can even define shifts if I want for this. And you'll have your master production scheduling where you can see your full schedule. You can do your capacity planning also. You can look at your overview of how the project is coming along in your planning board here. So it'll show you all the machines you're using, the start dates, the end dates, and then also the percentage done on each of these sections here. So that's just a real quick overview of production. You also have the quality section where you'll be able to do quality control, whether you're doing it by the person or if you're just doing it by individuals. So is there anything you want me to go into deeper for production or inventory, or any section you want me to show you?
Well, looks like it's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, not right now. Yeah. Right now is everything. Yeah.
Then I'm going to hand it back over to Nick, and he's going to talk about the next steps.
Okay, sure.
Nick?
All right, Lee. So just wanted to also understand, like, you said you want, like, one inventory for both ATS and REM, right?
Yes.
And you said you're using QuickBooks and everything, right? Since how long are you using those? Like,
Let me see. I think we start using them 2010, I think.
Okay, 2010.
Yeah.
Now, and how many total employees are like, both like ATS, you can give me different like ATS and for REM or like in total?
Total for ATS, probably people use computer probably, I would say probably about 20
About
people.
20.
Yeah.
And for REM?
And for IEM,
REM.
yeah, probably same number, about same number.
Okay, so how many people like use the system? As because you said you really want to like get rid of the QuickBooks and you want one automated system, right, for both of the companies, right, both the companies,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Right. So how many people use the system so that I as a next step what we can do is we can send you a proposal
Uh-huh.
for the same. Okay.
Yeah, probably the same, yes.
Okay. So how many people like use this? How many users do you need?
Well, actually, actually, I think I can make how many department and how many people for
Uh,
yeah, like a user.
the users. For
Yes.
different department there are different users,
Yeah.
right?
I can make a
Okay.
detailed list for you.
Yeah, sure. So as a next step, what you can do, you can send me like how many people work for how many department, and which
Yeah.
modules are you looking out for. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we can send you a proposal. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, sure.
how soon you said when we asked you like your how soon are you planning to change? You said as soon as the system is there any other
Yeah.
people those who are involved in this, like you want us to show to someone else from your management team?
No, not really. Yeah.
Okay, so you are the one who makes these decisions of changing the
No,
ERP.
actually no.
Okay,
I just
yeah.
right now I just connect the information. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so do you want us to show this, as a next step to anyone from your department or anyone from other departments, so that we can go
Yeah.
ahead and send you a proposal?
Yeah. That will be fine. Yes.
Okay. So I'll send you, you can send me the questions like, which department are you looking out for, how many users, and then I'll send you a proposal for the same.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And then when can we like, get back to you, like maybe in like a couple of weeks?
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, sure. So what we'll do is we can get back to you in like in 2 weeks. So do send me an email as a next step where
Yeah.
I can know like which department you need and how many users do you need.
Yeah. Sure. Also,
Sure.
I have some question.
Yes.
Question about your system. So basically, your system is on the cloud in the center, right? In your company.
I'm sorry, I had static in the background. Can you repeat that question?
Yes, I have some question. Yes. Okay. First question is, hello?
I'm still here.
Yeah. Okay. First question is, your system is like located in your company, right?
Okay, so what we do with the servers, we actually have a couple in each time zone, and we have them through the Rackspace and Amazon. So you'll have a server location, so there's always a backup for it. And we got one in New York, we got one in Seattle, we got one in Chicago, and we got one in Dallas.
Okay.
And then we'll have a separate Amazon and Rackspace one for each. So if for any reason one is down, you'll still be able to access your information because our one in the other time zone is up.
Okay. One concern is about how about if we lost the internet? Is there any backup plan for that?
Well, we do offer it as an on-premise also, which would allow you to keep the servers on site. And then there is people who have requested a hybrid version with us. And what happens on that is whenever the internet comes back up, it will just update our servers.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Okay. The other question is, this system is like a Sage, right? Sage Mass.
I don't know what you mean by a switch.
Yeah. Do you does it support like a POS system?
Yes, we have a full procurement module, so it's going to allow you to make your purchase orders. It's going to send those directly over to your vendors, and then once you've received those items, you'll be able to actually do your goods receipts against them, and you can do a partial goods receipt too. So if you have things that's coming in multiple shipments, it'll let you keep track of how many that you've received previously, and it won't let you add more than what you currently have without giving you a notification. And then that will go directly into your inventory items. So that check availability page will go up and down depending on if you make a sales order and ship it out, or if you make a purchase order and receive that item. So you're always having the most up-to-date information in there.
Okay. And how about the customer? Because can they be separate, like ATS customer and the IN customer?
What do you mean? Will they have the ability to log into the system?
Well, like ATS customer is like a dealership, distributor, but IN customer is like a retail store. It's like a how to say? IN is for retail. It's for the normally customer. It's not business. It's not like a business.
Are you wanting to put different information on them?
Yeah, can they be separate?
Well, you can absolutely keep your accounts and leads and opportunities separate. You can set them up as a separate accounts, and then each of those accounts are going to be your customers, and each one of those is going to have a whole bunch of information here. So let me open a account real fast, and that will show you what information you can keep. And we can add more fields in here or remove fields, so it's going to keep information of what type of customer it is, what industry they're with. You can also keep, maybe they also have a parent account. Maybe you have a really large company and each location is its own account. To keep track of the revenue information, you'll be able to directly add in notes about them. You'll be able to keep track of what their billing and shipping information is, who's your main contact, who's the secondary contacts, what accounting information goes with this, are they a business partner, what type they are, what control accounts, payment accounts, what tax information goes with it, and if they do direct bank account debits, and keep track of their bank information too for you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I saw it. Okay, cool. That's good. Okay.
And it'll also allow you to set reminders. So if you've got to contact a certain account on a certain day, they ask for a callback, you can set a reminder in the system, and it'll give you an alert when that happens. You'll be able to directly email them from the system or call them through Skype through the system. You can send out mass promotional emails, and you can set up a promotion or a campaign. In this section, it'll directly let you know which of your sales and which of your new contacts and your new accounts are related to that one.
Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, okay, the other question is about the report. Can we customize the report by ourselves, or we have to order to you?
You can customize it yourself. It is a drag and drop
Yeah.
functionality, so all you're doing is saying, okay, I want my sales order information, I want it from this date range, and then I want it to show this territory, or I want it to have a filter bar so I can filter between territories. So it's a very simple configuration, and you'll receive full training on how to use it. And you don't need to know how to code it all for it, which is great. Because I can't encode if my life depended on it.
Okay, right, cool. Okay, the other question. I think I saw there's a USA English. Does it support other language?
Absolutely. In the U.S., we mainly have U.S. or English and Spanish, but we've got other countries where we have Chinese, we have Japanese, we have several of the Indian languages, so we can definitely support other languages. You just have to let us know what languages you need.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions?
Let me see. Oh, okay. That's the other question. If we use this system, do you have some kind of data transfer from our old database?
Yes, we can. Part of our basic setup is to pull all that information into the system for you. And then if you want it to keep going back and forth, we have our tools and interfaces where if it's like an application that you have and you want it to continue working with that application, we can set up an ADI or a EDI or an API. And we also have full import and export of every single field of the system.
Okay.
And those can be scheduled.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go in and say, okay, I need this uploaded every day at 8 a.m. or I need to take the file system every day at 8 a.m. You can just schedule it to upload or download from a set location or to a set location.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
And then since this is a demo site, these are just some examples of who we interface with. We do have a much larger selection.
Okay. There's a question. I think it's the last one. Okay. It's possible to link inventory number to our own website or website?
Absolutely. So let me show you an example of what happens there. That's our e-commerce portal, and it's going to directly pull the information from our inventory master to your portal or to your website. So it'll take your photos, it'll give you your pricing information, and you can filter directly by what product group you want to go by. So you can just have, say, I only want to view my ATS items, or I only want to view my REM items. Oops. So I clicked on the wrong one there. And then even if it's services, you can put services on here too. And you can also filter based on the price range.
Cool.
And then what happens here is whenever the person logs in and they're making an item, it asks them if they want to make an account. And when they make an account, that information is pulled and directly goes into your CRM. And then whenever they make the actual order, that information goes back into the system directly into the sales module. So let me get back to sales module here real quick. And what would happen, it would show up in this list. So I have my list of all my items, and then it would show me the new sales order item here.
The customer portal, can we customize?
Can you customize what on the customer portal? Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's just a basic design that we have set up that's very generic. It's just an example of what it would look like. But there is definitely customization that can be done.
Yeah, that's all the question I have right now.
Okay, well, if you have
Sure.
any more at any point, feel free to reach out to me or Nick, and we'll definitely get those answers for you.
Definitely, Lee. I mean, if you
Yes.
have any questions, as also, you are also going to send, like, what modules are you looking out for and how many users. Okay, so do send me an email about the same. And as a next step, we'll send you the proposal as per the users that you are looking out for. And also let me know if you want a second demonstration for anyone from your department, and we can show you again.
Okay, sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll be waiting for your email, and then I'll get back to you within a couple of weeks.
Okay. Sure. No problem.
Okay, is there any other question that you have, Lee?
No, not right now. Yeah. Right
Sure.
now,
So,
yeah, you answered my question already. Yes.
Okay, great.
I like it. Yeah.
Wonderful. Great. So thank you very much for your time, Lee, and I'll send you an email about this. Okay?
Yeah, sure. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Have a wonderful
Thank you.
day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.